What's up, guys? Welcome back to another icow production. Best of 7 between two of the greatest Starcraft players in the world. We've got Sharp versus Soma today. Soma, the ASL champion. Going to be taking on Sharp, one of, I think, the top 3, maybe top 5 Terran players in the world right now. Fantastic player here. He's spawning over in the top right-hand corner. One of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites. Met him in person in Thailand a while ago. And guys, if you're wondering about the audio quality right now, if you're wondering what's going on with the audio, there is a Chinese caster who made this VOD, that sponsored this VOD. And they're not willing to share replays, but they are willing to share the VODs. They're fine with us uploading this to YouTube, so that's fantastic. We've been given express permission. But I'm trying to use AI to remove the voice. And some of the sounds come through. Some of the game sounds come through, some of the music comes through, but it doesn't all come through. It's not a perfect system. I'm working on it, and you know, we're doing some experimentation with it to see if we can make it the best that it can possibly be. But just understand that it's not a perfect product for sure. But we're getting to see some games that we would otherwise not be able to witness, and I'm just trying to make it the best that we possibly can. Looks like drone pull here to try and deal with this 8 racks to start from Sharp. One drone already going down, and the rest are going to be pulled off and head back into the base. Appears that he's going to be having lings pop out here in just a moment because of the non-committal defense there with the drones. Just wanted to slow that down, make sure that the bunker doesn't finish, and he will in fact do that. Look at this Sharp moving over to the left-hand side here, going around. He's hoping that, I think, Soma goes across the map with these lings and that he can backstab into the natural, maybe get a couple more drone kills, but Soma being very careful. He's got the Overlord over the natural and one over the high ground here just outside of his own natural, so he's got a lot of information here to work with. And he knows that Sharp hasn't made it back home with those Marines just yet. So he knows they could be somewhere out here on the map. He's actually left a little bit of a gap that Sharp could try to slip by in. But Sharp's just sitting behind these mineral patches right now. He's not moving at all. He's got that SCV in there scouting. And he's hoping to get a little bit more information as to where those links are so that he can make a move with the Marines. Looks like he's going to decide to make that move now. I think it's a little bit ill-timed here as the lings are on the way. SCV going to poke in. And here comes the Marines. Everything going to be spotted, and these Marines are going to die 100%. All of them going down very swiftly. And the SCV, oh, the SCV might be able to slip in. Drone going to try to block that. Nice block. Very nice block. Preventing the drone from, or excuse me, preventing the SCV from getting any further information. Now, Sharp tried to push out with his Marines and get them a little bit out of the vision of the Overlord there, just to create a little bit of ambiguity when it comes to that Overlord scouting. You can see that Soma's trained on that location. He's just looking over there to see if to see what he can see in terms of those Marines. But in fact, Sharp has not moved very far. He's just barely out of vision range. He's going to come back behind this mineral, or behind this wall in just a moment. Link speed is done. He's going to come up here and find these Marines. He's diving on top of them right now. How many can he trade out for kills? Looks like he only got 2 Marine kills. I mean, it's not too bad. Lowering that Marine count just a little bit here. Sharp's first medic pops out. It looks like behind this, kind of a hybrid build here from Sharp, getting that second barracks a little bit later, not having the fastest +1 either. Looks like an academy rush with 1 barracks, so not quite able to afford 2 because of the 8 racks. But we'll see how this hybrid build works out for Sharp, who's gonna be going up against a third base down here in the very bottom left hand corner. It's a 2.5 hatch into third base. Nice economic build from Soma, and since he was able to deny any serious damage in the early game, he should be in a very strong economic spot. Almost managed to get the medic there. It looks like he dives forward and he actually kills a Marine as well. Yeah, he did get a Marine kill. These are some good moves from Soma right now. Picking off Marines as they spawn on the outside. And just keeping the pressure on to Sharp, who will be getting into 3 racks, maybe 4 racks here before he gets his factory out. Another Marine goes down, man. This is pretty painful. Picking off multiple additional Marines. Every time they pop out on the outside, looks he finally pulls back that barracks, realizing that that's just going to be a bleed to his units kind of constantly, as long as that's still a thing. Diving here into the main. Oh, the turret's not done. It just barely finishes in time. We'll drive back these Mutalisks for now. But Sharp is walking on a knife's edge, whereas Soma is getting more and more robust. Eventually, we are going to have Sharp, come out with either Valkyries or more likely Vessels and take map control and still have an opportunity to maybe fight back in this game. But Soma, using this opportunity to really drone hard. He's only got 4 mutas, and he already managed to kill an SCV. He's droned up bottom left. He's going to be getting that 3rd gas here shortly, and likely starting his transition as well. I see a building there in the main base next to that 3rd hatchery, but I'm assuming that's a Queen's Nest or a Hydralisk Den. More likely a Hydralisk Den if he wants to get some lurkers out here in time to block the move out of Sharp. But Soma firmly in control here as the Marines start to come out. He's beefed up that Mutalisk count in preparation for this move out, and now he's ready with the full 11 to really start bashing away at these Marines. And in fact, he's getting some pretty serious kills here. It's not easy to do against Sharp, who's very good with his Marine control, excellent at keeping them bunched up and fighting against these mutas, reacting very quickly to any poke in, making sure that the mutas pay a heavy price each time they want to trade. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can go about this. Oh, a Marine breaks off. He's going to make a run for this bottom left, at least to try and scout that. Looks like it hasn't been spotted. Lings seemed like they were chasing that down, but in fact, we're not. And so this Marine will make it down here. Going to spot this Hydralisk out on the high ground and seize the base as well, but there should be enough. Oh, this dive is nasty. Getting enough Lings together here right at the precise moment when Sharp would like to be pushing out, would like to be reinforcing that push as well, but overwhelmed and destroyed. Sharp, we might have to rely on Lotto ships here, my friend. Lotto ships may be the only way to come back in this game. He's already lost his first bio ball, as well as opening 8 racks and not really getting much damage, only a single drone's worth of damage. So he is just falling further and further behind. Here comes a dive into the main. Lurkers must be done at the natural. That's the only explanation for this, or I guess they will be done here in just a moment with some sunken colonies that should be able to hold off all the Marines that are out on the map. And so there's nothing holding back these mutas from diving in and just doing a bunch of damage here in the main. And doing damage they indeed are. Lots and lots of damage here as he guns down more and more SCVs. Looks like he's doing some transitioning behind this, so not controlling that to absolute perfection, getting the most value he could by sniping down particular SCVs, but does manage to slip out at the end and has this transition well underway with the Defiler Mound done. Nidus Canal coming up. And of course, lurkers at every important location. He may even try to take the 4th base right now. 4th base, the faster you can get it up, the faster you can transition into ultras, the better off you're going to be. But it does also open you up to a bit of counterplay, right? Sharp, he's probably going to be riding. There it is, on dropships, skipping over even his first vessel, going directly into dropships. This is a bit of desperation from Sharp. A lot of times you'll see, 2, 4 vessels made, and then an eventual switch into dropships to try and follow up with some damage. But sending out drops this early, and look, he's just been denied here. one drop's just not going to make much of a dent in a base that's already this full of units. So many lings in that top left. Second dropship out, but they've already been revealed. That's the unfortunate bit, is that Soma already knows that drops are on the field. He's already seen it. And so the chances of him getting blindsided by this are incredibly low. In fact, these drops are going to go around the bottom side, it looks like, and come in towards that main base. Main base, bottom left. Maybe he slips by here. You know what? The Scourge and Mutas are all on the top side. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff popping through the Nidus Canal pretty quickly when that drop does get off. I think Sharp waiting for another drop, pair of drops potentially. Oh, he's actually got more vessels. So vessels pop out. Soma's not fooled. Soma's not letting his guard down, I think. He knows that there's drops out here. And they gotta be used. Just when are they going to be coming in? That's the real question. Sharp a bit supply blocked right now at 100 of 100. He's going to start his CC over there at the third, while attempting to take map control, pushing out towards this bottom left. Oh, we're going to lose the first vessel. Oh my gosh, one of the very first vessels. I don't know if that got any value before going down. I didn't see a single irradiate as of yet. But he's going to pressure down here. Do his best to pressure this position. He can push in with some fire bats. Here comes a drop directly in behind here. Gonna immediately drop on this high ground as well. Not the quickest reaction speed from Soma, and so the target fire here is gonna be highly effective, shooting down all of these Scourge before they can connect. Can he shoot down this one as well? No. Loses one of these drops. Can he actually get the hatch? 99 HP on that. That's crazy. Does manage to survive though. Maybe he can come forward with the rest of this army and try to break that base. So what I was talking about, that Soma's going to be a little bit stretched thin. He's not going to have a whole lot of defenses for all these four bases at this point in the game. And look at this. Sharp is finding a way in. He's going to clear these lurkers, it looks like, with the D-Matrix Firebat. No, he barely doesn't get it. No target fire on that CC. Or on that hatchery, excuse me. Hatchery not gone down, not focused down is a lot. All the vessels die, all the Marines die, and the base survives. Soma is leagues ahead in terms of supply, and they're going to be a bunch of ultras popping out here soon. I think that it's time to start thinking about game number 2 here. Sharp has made some mistakes. He's definitely had some interesting attempts, right? With that 8 racks, he tried to find an opening, find a way in. He's tried to find a way in with this drop. He almost made some damage in both attempts, but neither one has worked out, and each and every time Soma's make the right decisions. He's done great counterattacks. He's had great micro, as expected of the ASL champion right now, just being playing fantastic. And Sharp is not going to be winning this game. I don't think there's any chance of him making that happen at this point. Nice target fire on the Scourge. Sharp really does that better than just about anybody else. His target down Scourge as they're coming in to kill his vessels. He's very good and precise with those clicks, but none of that's going to matter when the army size is as big as it is, when the army advantage as high as it is right now for Soma. He's on 4 bases, pumping ultras. He's going to have ultra speed here soon. Likely going to have +2 armor as well in just a moment. As soon as that happens, we're going to see armies spilling across the map from all different locations, from all these hatcheries, heading directly towards this Terran base. And I just don't see any way for Sharp to survive that, to weather the storm that's coming right now and somehow get a 4th base up, which is what he needs to continue on in this game. There's no real future for him without a 4th base and some sort of a transition as well, most likely. Just sticking on SK Terran is not going to cut it. That's a lot of ultras making their way into the natural, and we should be seeing a GG here in just a moment. Soma looking incredibly good in this first game of the best of 7, pressuring and pressuring and pressuring. Sharp, I mean, he's just kind of hanging in right now. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. There's money on the line, but there's no way you're winning this, even if you stay in. And so GG is called. Let's jump into game number 2. All right, guys, game number 2. Sharp over here in the bottom left. Soma top left, and Sharp not going to repeat with another 8 racks, it seems. The defense was a little bit too good from Soma last game. Better to fall back on a 1 racks expansion. I like it. Sharp, I mean, he's good with the early game control. He's very good with SCVs. He's very good at executing these busts for the most part. But I honestly like his mid-game play in TVZ a lot better. I feel like if we manage to get to mid-game, a mid-game power spike with 4, 5, 6 racks, 2 starports pumping vessels and swapping between vessels and dropships, I think that he has a good chance of beating basically any Zerg on the planet with that sort of high-octane interactive play where he's hitting you, irradiating everything, attacking in multiple locations, plus dropping at the same time. His multitasking is very good in those situations, and it's incredibly difficult to keep up. So if he can get to a spot like that, if he can get to that mid-game smoothly without taking too much damage, I think he's going to be in a pretty reasonable spot to try and win at least a couple of games in this series. And I wouldn't expect Sharp to necessarily win the whole series. That would be pretty surprising to me. But I expect to see some wins. I expect him to at least take a couple games off of Soma, right? He is a very strong player, and TVZ in the mid game, highly chaotic, highly crazy. And Sharp is one of the best at just getting in there and getting that damage. She's similar to Speed in that way. Very similar to Speed. Other great TVZ players. I think Royal as well. Royal, one of those guys who's very good at getting in and dealing that damage. Maybe less so recently, but historically he's been a great TVZ example. Naked Marine move out here could be a little risky. Soma opened with a pool first, so he's going to be pretty low econ, but he has a lot of lings out right now. Sharp making a move like this might not be a good idea. 2 racks is pretty strong against a play like what Soma's gone for. Is you're just going to have a middling number of lings that 2 racks could just easily punch right through. Counterattacks can be strong against that, but as long as you have fire bats on the way as you're moving out, you should be able to hold that off and force the Zerg player to make a bunch of sunken colonies, which will really bite into their ability to produce. Get lots of drones out, get these extra hatcheries out. You can see Soma went for the early pool, but still managed to slip out his 2.5 hatchery there in the main. Has a sunken colony, 2 sunken colonies actually on the way already. He's already sussed this out, that it's indeed a 2 racks play, and that likely there's going to be a big group of Marines coming across the map right now. It's 5 minutes in, and so usually this would be the attack timing, but SCV makes it in. He sees 2 sunken colonies already, knows that, you know, I don't even need to attack. The attack was meant to force the sunken colonies, but since they've already been made, is it really necessary? Wow, the Lynx are trading right now with the Marines. I think he just got a couple of kills right as he was walking up that ramp. It seems like Sharp maybe wasn't quite paying attention as he was coming up that ramp, so he actually gets turned around immediately with this Bioforce. Firebat's going to be heading over towards that top right, checking to see if there's another base on the way. No other base coming up just yet for Soma. A little bit behind the curve on that one, but you can't have everything, right? You can't get an early pool, get 2.5 hatch, you know, buy sunken colonies, get a mutilous timing, and get a third base. So you got to cut somewhere if you want to get that early pool. And so he's going to be a little late on that third. And he might even get denied by the firebat. That's possible. Like, I think he's sending a drone to top right now. And a firebat standing there at that base might be able to kill the drone, which actually could really impact this game a lot. Soma definitely wants to get that base online here soon, and it takes a long time for the drone to walk its butt all the way over there. In fact, he sent a Ling along with it, but a Ling's not quite going to cut it, man. Ling, when it comes to a firebat and a firebat with stim, gonna kill that Ling and chase down that drone. And in fact, it's doing it right now. He's probably gonna hit stim a second time. Just run that down. We're missing it right now, but it's actually a huge moment here for Sharp. Diving in on the natural now. Trying to kill off some of these turrets. Open the position up. Really nice control here so far. And the Marines were a little slow to respond to that. In fact, firebat's still chasing the drone. Look, the drone's already all the way down here, almost to the bottom center at this point. So regardless of whether that dies or not, it's still going to be a very long walk back. Look, there's the drone right now. What is this drone doing here? At 6 o'clock, he finally sees it and turns it around. Gonna send it all the way back up there. I think that the firebat has made its way all the way back to top right. That's crazy to me. He's really doing a good job of denying the space right now. And in fact, finally, Soma's going to send some stuff up there. I think some injured mutas are going to go over there and try to clear that out so that the drone can finally take the base. But the longer this base gets denied, the better it is for Sharp. He has the transition on the way. Like, eventually, he's going to get into this transition. I don't think he sent mutas up there. I don't think he sent mutas up there. He's going to lose the drone. Oh my gosh, he loses the drone. Drone's dead. Oh man, we're missing it on screen right now. Oh, and a muta dies too. Soma falling apart a little bit. This could be a win here for Sharp. For sure. Like, this is already looking very good. We'll see if he can close it out. But the third base still hasn't been established. Little free medic kill there is nice for Soma, but he already threw away one muta, which is certainly worth more than a medic. There's a drone finally making up here. Almost 9 minutes in. Is not a good sign. Sharp has all of his barracks down now. He's got his +1. Most likely he's got his starports finishing up here. And the third is just starting. So it's going to be a long time before lurkers make their way up to top right, before Nidus can be connected up there, and before that third gas actually comes online. It's going to be quite a while before that. Marines are going to come back to try and deal with these mutas in the main. Just diving right on top of this. Losing those turrets, not the biggest deal here for Sharp right now. He's fine to just trade. As long as he's keeping his SCVs alive and keeping that Marine count high. Okay, it's just 3 racks directly into a tank push, which, you know what? This actually might be okay for Soma. It might hurt really bad. It might also be okay. We'll see. It just depends on when he got that hive done. Yeah, he got it done pretty quickly. Not having the third base doesn't prevent you from getting a hive. One thing you can do is, instead of having that base a little bit, like, delay the third and just get the hive out quicker. And it seems like he's kind of done that here by default. This is a good hold by Sharp, pushing everything away. But I don't know if this tank push is going to work. 2 tanks, maybe a third tank popping out here soon. Vessels. Large amount of Marines. Let's see if he can make something happen here, because Soma's going to pull up onto this high ground and try to delay as much as possible so that he can buy a little bit of time for this Defiler to come out. And in fact, the Defiler is going to come out here soon. So this push may end up getting completely denied. Definitely Consume should be on the way and gonna be finishing up quickly here. Marines getting minced. Walking a little bit too far forward there. Tanks shoving everything back. Can tuck into this pocket here on the left-hand side. Try to hit these sunken colonies and eventually try to hit the gas. That one, okay, I guess that sunken or that siege tank on the right is actually in range. No, not quite in range. So that's kind of slowing down his bus timing. Oh, can he get the irradiate on the Defiler? It looks like he gets it. Gonna trade out his vessel for it though. Bringing forward the other tank now. Really important that he keeps these tanks alive and keeps them in range of everything. Gonna start to hit some drones as well. No Defiler here for the time being. The Defiler was killed. Another one will be popping out here soon. And Consume should be done. Pushing forward just a little bit more will allow him to get in range of this hatchery, but he's going to lose some tanks. One tank goes down. Sieging up a little bit closer right now. Marines coming in. Lings are going to... Oh, he's going to kill these lurkers. One more lurker goes down. One more lurker falls. There's the Darkstorm, but it's too late. It's too late, and he's going to get this hatchery. Everything falling apart here for Soma now. As this tank push makes some gains here, and with the natural hatchery going down, there's really not much hope left for Soma, and the break, the bust here in the natural will be successful. I guess Guardians were made? Oh yeah, Guardians were made over here. Those are very good at holding on against some pushes like this, tank pushes like this, but unfortunately just didn't have it in time. Was a little bit late on that. A little bit late everywhere for Soma. His third base is late. His transition was late. His Guardians are late. Everything just a bit too late for him. He's going to stick in it for now. But I wouldn't fault him for quitting out of this game right now. This is a very hard position. He tries to take a fourth. No way that will stand. He, in fact, has to cancel, run away. Nothing on this high ground, by the way. Nothing. It can actually stop the Lings and tanks that are coming up here. Immediately going to target down the Nidus. Only two lurkers. Just not going to be enough to stop, and this base is dead. That'll definitely be a GG. Bringing some Guardians over here right now to try and keep himself alive. There's fire bats to go ahead and kill all the drones. Even under Darkstorm is just not going to help. This base is gone, and Soma's busy running around with Guardians, just trying to put something together, some sort of a defense together, but it's just not happening. Third base, and more is going to be coming up for Sharp, and there it is, GG. Sharp fires back against Soma. All right, guys, the score is 1-1, and Sharp is going to go ahead and 8 racks again. We got the racks out there in the middle of the map. Let's see if Soma makes another early pool. It doesn't seem like that's the plan. A hatchery is about to come down here on Metropolis, and Soma's not going to know about this for quite some time. We'll see if he manages to defend again with just drones, or will he end up taking some real serious damage. I think this is a good chance for Sharp to take the lead in the series. Let's see what happens. Definitely, it's tough to make a hold work against a Rax that's this far out. And look at this, he's even going to scout it first. He goes to scout top left. Big moment here for Sharp as he sends that in. You can see him sending a second SCV down towards bottom center. I thought he was going to check up there for the Overlord, but instead he comes over here. He sees the Overlord at top left. He knows that Soma is in top left, and so he's going to come up here, confirm, see what's going on. And I don't think there's time to cancel the gas either. You know, he could end up losing this Overlord too. Overlord could take a lot of damage. That is worrisome. Maybe not. Maybe he won't. Okay, here comes the drones. Barracks is, or excuse me, bunker on the way. Will the SCV rotate to the south? It will. No repair on that SCV. And that's a lot of drones that have been pulled. A very big response. Great block there. Really good solid block with the SCVs. 2 targets down. 3 drones have been targeted. 4 drones now have been taken down. He should get a 5th as well. Yes, he does. A 5th drone goes down. And a factory has started. 6 drones? 7? Will he really get 7? That is ridiculous. And lings were made too. It's about as bad as it could possibly be. 6 drones and he didn't kill any SCVs. And he made lings. This is extremely rough. Now he'll have to make a sunken colony as well, because this vulture is on the way. Vulture's going to be popping out here soon. Sharp is in a magnificent position. I don't know how he could possibly lose this game. It would be a really hard feat to imagine. Marine heading over towards the top right. I'm not sure where that's headed or why that's headed up there. If it actually kept going to top right, he could have found that Overlord and maybe killed it. But as it stands, lings being made back at home. He's making a lot of them. I think he's going to go for a ling all-in. Ling all-in with speed to just try and come over here and kill. This could work. I think this might be the one way that Soma can actually win. The Vulture's going to come out here, and he's going to try and backstab. It's a 1-1-1. There's no sunken colony at all. He's going to go past this. This is a really sneaky play. I actually really... I appreciate this from Soma. This is a very smart, sneaky play from him. Got to get up this ramp. Got to pull SCVs as well. SCVs need to be pulled. No, the Vulture! Oh my gosh, the Vulture goes down. That is huge, huge kill there. SCVs have been pulled off the line. A lot of them are falling right now. Here comes the Vulture in from behind. Got to be microed perfectly here. As more lings come in, though, 2 Vultures are now out. SCV count is extremely low. So many have died. He's going to get this around here on yet another Vulture. Not able to get the micro going with that Vulture, and it looks like Soma's actually going to win this. After such a massive advantage for Sharp, it was almost impossible to bring this one back, but Soma's found the one route to victory. That ling all in has absolutely clutched it out for him, and he will end up winning this game. No more SCVs are left. I think he just started maybe his last SCV back at home. He's going to come across the map, try to kill some drones with this Vulture, or with this Wraith, and keep the Vultures active to defend the main base. You can't really get in there with lings anymore, but Hydra's out already. He can follow up with a Hydralisk attack. Just leave 1 or 2 Hydras back at home to defend the mineral line and come over here and finish off Sharp. Not really a lot that he can do against this. Yeah, see, the Wraith takes all this damage, and GG is called. Great response from Soma to all that early game damage, finding the one way that he could potentially win this game. And he manages to make it happen. An excellent comeback from Soma in that last game. Brings him to a lead in the series. We've got Sharp over here in the top left, going back to the 1 racks fast expand build. And Soma, bottom right, continuing with his hatch first play. Hatch on 11, it seems. And now he's going to go hatch on 11. Interesting. Pool on 10. Drone and then gas, it looks like. So, optimized for a 2 hatch play. 2 hatch timing. Optimization there. Let's see if he wants to go for 2 hatch, or is he going to be able to optimize his way, boost his way to a 2.5 hatchery. It always surprises me how much more money these guys can get out. How much more value these guys can get out by doing those little optimizations, by boosting their miners and making builds that don't really seem possible already. Sharp with a couple of Marines here. Gonna push out. Spots the drone coming in. Oh. What's this? Drone just runs right by. I don't think that was intentional. That drone may actually die. Oh, it just barely manages to survive, it looks like. That's funny. Lair in the natural? He's not really fooling anybody by making the lair there. As if he has spotted that. And let's see. Sharp. Gonna stick to the wall. I see something in his main. I think that's a eBay. eBay in the main means that he's going to open with a quick +1 build. We haven't seen that yet in this series so far, but yeah, there it is. eBay build from him. It's a very strong play. Probably be a 4 racks follow-up from him. It has a little bit of vulnerability while you're waiting for range and +1 to be done. But for the most part, it's very strong against 2 hatchery. 2 hat, you're putting on the pressure early. You're getting in there and trying to deal some damage. But generally, the transition is not as strong. And the mid-game power spike of masses of bio with +1 coming out and dealing damage, it's pretty hard to handle, pretty hard to deal with. We'll see how Soma handles that. Quite a bit of background noise going on right now. I don't know if the AI can handle that. Usually the AI just kind of cuts out the voice. That's why, you know, you might hear, you know, clicking and clacking of the keyboard and mouse. Because this is primarily... The AI is looking for voice triggers, right? In order to remove the voice. It's not really calibrated for removing these random noises. So hopefully that's not too annoying for you guys. And the AI voice remover is going well. I would love for that to really be dialed in so that we can get an even better experience out of these vodcasts, because there's a lot of different opportunities to do vodcasts like this. People are so tight-lipped, or they play it so close to the chest with the replays. Very few people are actually willing to share their replays for a variety of different reasons. So a lot of what we get is opportunities to cast VODs, and so the better we can make that experience for you guys, I think the better the overall experience of watching Broodwar and being a Broodwar fan is going to be. I looked at some third-party platforms today, third-party AI tools today, to try and find a better fit for this type of video, but everything seemed a little bit worse than what DaVinci Resolve can do. So I'm going to stick with that for now. But if you know some tools that are strong, if you have experience in that area, let me know. And yeah, just leave a comment or talk to me on Discord. Either one. Discord link in the description, guys, if you want to come join the community as well. Certainly open to suggestions, because I always want to try and make this stuff better. Try to make these videos more enjoyable for you guys. I did manage to slip out a 3rd hatchery here in the main and a base over in the top right. Again, always surprised at how much these Zerg players are able to get out of these optimizations. And Soma this game has had his cake and eaten it too. He's got plenty of mutas out here early. Start pressuring. Just about time though for that +1 to kick in for Sharp, plus the range. So his bio ball is pretty darn strong right now. It's going to be hard to contend with. Here comes some lings though from behind. The surround is good. And he just completely overwhelms this. Absolutely bashed. Now he won't kill all the medics. 2 of them do manage to survive. A good time to rally there from Sharp will actually avoid disaster for him. But this is still a kind of a tough spot. He's been pushed all the way back, and it'll give some room for Soma to attempt to transition if that's what he's ready to do, if that's what he's wanting to do here. Now, drone in the top right will be killed. One Marine managed to slip by over into that top right, which is quite annoying for Soma, but overall, not going to be too impactful. Marines have been pushed all the way back into the natural, but that will not last long. Pretty soon here, Sharp is going to start pushing out in a very big way with a lot of Marines. He's got a ton of racks. I think nearly 5 racks now. Maybe that's already done. With 5 racks operational, shoving away these mutas. There it is, 5 racks. Shoving away these mutas and starting to put the pressure onto Soma is going to be possible. Very important that Soma gets this transition fully underway before that happens. And that lurkers are ready at the natural and the top right main as well. By the time that happens, Sharp being a little bit tentative for now. Keep him back here over by the natural, not willing to push out in any big way here just yet. Hive on the way. And here he comes. Sharp going to start to push across the map. This is the scary moment here for Soma. Has that +1 attack done. Has lurker upgrade on the way, no doubt. There it is. Lurkers are being made. Looks like he's going to be fine here. And so just going to dive in and start to kill some of these turrets. Open up the position. This Marine Medic out on the map. Unlikely to do much for Sharp at this point. And this really comes back to the initial Bile Ball of Sharp getting wiped out early on, where Soma just barely had enough mutas and lings to wipe that out, to take that fight in a convincing manner at a key moment before Sharp really had the mass to pressure him, to push out and put on that pressure. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sharp go for drops right now and try for something again, because it's hard. It's hard to play from this position. And getting out some lotto ships that can absolutely pay off. You're definitely rolling the dice, but sometimes you roll 6s and you're able to smash through, get a quick win, and avoid a tough late game versus a player the caliber of Soma. Dive into the main here. Not a lot of turrets, but vessels are popping out. Maybe, 4 vessels here before dropships. That might be a good play too. Come over, start to get some irradiates going. Put the pressure on with irradiate before sending in a drop. Soma's just very good at getting all of his ducks in a row, making sure he's got defenses absolutely everywhere for a play like that. And so getting in early is better before some of those positions are set up properly. But Sharp, meanwhile, Sharp right now, more interested in just getting his own economy on the way. Snagging this 3rd and 4th at the same time. The good old double expansion. While looking towards this 4th base. This time, Soma not making the same mistake. He's not getting over eager and trying to quickly grab that 4th base. He's instead being pretty cautious here up on that high ground. Coming out and pressuring. Slowing down this base a little bit, killing off some Marines. And waiting a bit longer before grabbing that 4th. It's actually about time now for him to come down and take that. But he's really being cautious. Really being cautious here. And I think that's born from the game where Sharp managed to win by pulling him apart on these 4 bases. He's waited a lot longer. Make sure that he has enough to make this happen. Dark Swarm with Lurker here. Overwhelming numbers will push back these Marines and medics. And so Sharp, I think, is going to take another base. Looks like he's taking bottom left. Is he actually going down there to take bottom left as well? I guess those are just Marines. Not sending an SCV down there. As he's taking this 4th gas. I wonder if he is also building up some factories as well. Maybe getting some upgrades going over there in the main. Got those armories spinning potentially. to set himself up for tank Marine in the late game. It can be such a good, potent combination. Wow, look at how many barracks are coming up right now. Tons of barracks in the main base. We do not see those critical factories, though, just yet. Soma's been really careful about taking this fourth. He's getting it online now. Drops coming in at an interesting point here. He's going to get over onto this high ground and actually manages to save one of these dropships. One of them goes down, but the other fully unloads, targeting down the Scourge over at this base is interesting, and diving in on some drones. He's definitely going to be able to kill a few drones here and cause a lot of disruption as Soma is trying to put everything together. He's actually got a lot of Hydras here. Maybe Hydra Defiler is the direction he's headed in. I thought that this would be Ultralist for sure out of Soma, but with the number of Hydras that have been made, we might have a different plan for us here. Follow-up double drop heading over towards this main base. Soma, he lost his Scourge over there, and so he might not have any to try and defend that location. Firebats under this Dark Swarm were helping out quite a bit. And the drop coming into the main base now is going to be painful. A lot of Marines and Firebats popping out here. A lot of Hydras to try and hold that back, though, and it looks like they're doing a pretty reasonable job. Not very many medics with this drop, so a lot of this gets shut down pretty successfully. May even end up losing the drops. No, barely slips out with 2 drops. Both of those drops managing to get out of this main base. Still, no Ultras whatsoever. It was a little bit surprising. Also, nothing preventing someone from moving out over at that natural, so he could start to come out on the map, maybe threaten center left. Although he hasn't tried that just yet. He's still building up. He's got a good solid drone count. He's remade some drones there for the main base. Factory back at home. Grabbing an add-on, that's definitely for tanks. Tanks are going to be coming online here soon. Factory floating there in the middle of the map is kind of funny, though. Definitely needs more than just the one factory to make that work. Lings coming down to bottom left, but they're going to be cleaned up pretty successfully. And SCV made its way down to the bottom left as well. Maybe set up some factories bottom left. Start to get some tanks over on that high ground. It would be strong. Not sure where all the vessels are right now. Some of them were plagued earlier. It was a strong plague, and it's forced Sharp back. At least out of range of just easy irradiates, where you can just fly in, get a few good irradiates down on some important units. Ooh, another nice plague there. These Marines are on a move command. They do pick off the Defiler, but the plague on those vessels is probably going to be more impactful here, setting up that entire vessel swarm for a later game follow-up snipe. There's the Ultralist Cavern. Eventually we're going to see Ultras here, but he's really taking his time getting into that, and so there's probably going to be a lot of tanks out here soon for Sharp. Sharp actually behind in supply now, despite having a big bank. He's having a hard time keeping up with Soma, who's just making masses of units. He's just pumping out so many Hydras and Lings, and of course, that big bank of gas has been gathered up here for that Ultralist transition that should be coming out here soon. Center right has been taken as well. Another gas in the pocket for Soma, which will be coming into play here soon. Tanks in a forward position on that high ground, making things a little harder for Soma to push into. Not a big critical mass of tanks, though, just yet, to make it impossible to breach a position. It's just slowing things down for now. And Sharp, I think, just pumping off of one factory is never really going to allow him to reach that critical mass. Oh, so many vessels going down here. That's so painful. About 4 or 5 vessels end up falling to the 1 or 2 Hydras that came running forward here. One more Dark Swarm gets on top of this tank. Looks like he will end up taking it out. Firebat's not being brought in to protect this here is a little bit questionable. He loses the tank. Gets a scan over there on that center right. Will he be able to break this? If he just goes with Firebats, he might be able to make it happen. Firebat's getting a big surround here, getting a lot of damage. He gets on top of the base. He's busting through. There's a plague, but there's a ton of drones over here at center right. He's starting to break through. He's hitting all these drones and getting into the base. The 5th has been denied. It's time for a counterattack. Soma sending army across the map finally. Deciding to put on the pressure, but meanwhile, a drop is heading into the main top right. Big drop from Sharp. This game is about to get crazy, guys. Triple drop here, right onto this high ground. There is a defiler here, but with a lot of firebats, 4 dropships make their way forwards. He's gonna run behind the mineral patches, try to gun down potentially that, oh gosh. The Nidus Canal is gonna stay alive for now, and looks like everything gets cleaned up. This drop is completely shut down, and the center right survived. Did it actually survive? Is it being remade? I think it's being remade right now. Yeah, being remade, excuse me. Soma takes control of the map. Not a lot out here on the map now for Sharp. That drop was none too successful. Tank count still rather low. Maybe he can make something happen with that. This should be a huge plague. Okay, Dark Swarm instead. It's going to be fine. Helps him to clear out the first few tanks. The frontal tanks there are going to end up getting shut down. Ultras here. Oh, another Dark Swarm can come down. No irradiate for that Defiler just yet. Looks like it just gets thrown down. Plague on the vessels and some Marines here at the back line. Center left is going to be under threat here in a moment. So many Ultras coming forward. Finally spent that bank, did Soma, as we can tell. As we can see here, really spending up that bank now and massing out onto the map. Sharp on the ropes. Despite having so many bases online, that bottom left even is online here, but is being held back by this Dark Swarm, the Ultra Swarm coming in to absolutely destroy the space. And GG is called. Sharp taps out. Another win for Soma. All right, guys, here we are on a match point. Got Sharp in the bottom right, Soma in the top right. And of course, we are here on Litmus. An awesome map for ZVT. Leads to some pretty interesting scenarios, but it doesn't look like Sharp's going to utilize, I think, what's the most powerful part about Litmus, which is the fact that you're able to go one base as Terran here. He's going to one Rax fast expand instead. And so, I mean, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how it goes. Sharp's been having a hard time here. I mean, anybody's going to have a hard time when it comes to going up against Soma. I think that's what we'll have tomorrow, actually. I may end up doing a Pro League live stream tomorrow morning. If you guys watch this right when it comes out, it'll be right when this video comes out. I'll be doing that Pro League watch party probably about 8 hours, 10 hours after the video comes out. This video comes out. And if we don't end up doing that, we'll do Mini versus Soma, which is another match, another best of 7 from this icow series. So definitely look forward to that. Either way, we'll probably end up doing it, but we might not do it tomorrow if I end up casting Pro League. Pro League is a lot of work, guys. It is a long day when we cast Pro League. You know, 3, 4, 5 hours worth of casting or just, you know, watch partying, I try to take it a little bit more easy, not spend as much time or as much effort casting, more just kind of watching and enjoying the games. That's a little bit rough. Sharp didn't get even a single shot there, I think, off of that Marine. Just kind of walked right up and then pulled back. Ends up losing the Marine and has to cancel the bunker. So lose the Marine and cancel the bunker. And doesn't get anything out of it. Only some lost drone mining time, whatever, 3-4 drones there off the line to try and shut that down. Not a great start here for Sharp, who's getting his CC up. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not where you'd like to be. That's quite a few links coming up here to the front, and the SCV looks like it'll go down, but he loses a couple of links for it. Not too bad here for Sharp. Pretty good block there. If he had went out with that SCV just a tiny bit earlier, he might have ended up taking a lot of damage because those links were coming for that entrance. And the Marine count was quite low. More links coming up here. Is Soma actually going to try and bust in here? I see a second Rax is finishing up. Oh my gosh. Is he going to come out? Okay, he comes out with the SCV and scouts everything. So he's okay. He can just sit back here. He knows that he should not come out. Factory on the way. So no second Rax. In fact, a factory here in the main. And so we're going to see maybe a mech transition, maybe just a Valkyrie build out of Sharp. We'll see which direction he wants to head in here. We've got an academy, so with the academy there, most likely going to be Valkyrie play. But it's hard to keep Valkyries alive against Soma, that's for sure. Soma is really good at getting in. Knocking down those Valkyries early. Shutting them down with some early Scourge. No link speed just yet from Soma. Seems like he's optimizing for a 2 hatchery play. See if he's able to get that 3rd hatchery here in the main. He should. I guess he built a few too many lings. Not quite able to afford it. Yeah, he won't be able to. So just a pure 2 Rax or 2 hatch. Pure 2 hatchery play. This might actually go pretty well for Sharp. He's going to have that Valkyrie popping out here soon. I guess the mutas will already get some swipes in, though, before then. He's got to start these turrets in the main. Turrets just now starting in the main. Are they going to be just a little bit too late? The timing here is very close. If Soma gets a good foothold in this main base, it's going to be really tough to push him out. He just barely finishes his turret in time. My gosh, was that close. And it looks like this SCV will survive for now as well. Marines here at the bottom of the ramp. Going to start to push out on the map a little bit. Muta's on top of this starport. Wanting to maybe try to snipe down that Valkyrie as it pops out, but no. Instead, moving to the natural. Really messing with these Marines, my gosh. As they're coming through that little gap there, doing so much damage. This is really fantastic control. What we're seeing here out of Soma. Gotta get that moving shot. Can he actually get it? The dive here from the mutas. Oh, he messed up. He really messed up there, not able to get the shot. Does end up killing the Valkyrie in the end, but eats so much damage from the Marines and turrets there on the ground. One supply depot goes down. Lings are making their way into the natural now. Things are really starting to fall apart here for Sharp. The push out with the Marine medic was definitely not the right choice in that scenario. Soma was easily able to outmaneuver him with the mutas and put a lot of damage down. Valkyrie has not done the job that it was needed for. Not done what he absolutely needed from that. And look at this. Scourge going to come forward and connect with the second Valkyrie as well. So both Valkyries have been killed. Vulture pops out. He's trying to utilize the Vultures. as just something else to try to get rid of these lings on the ground. Not a lot of mutas left over. A lot of them are very low too. So this is kind of close to a hold. I wish he would build a bunker in the natural. Sharp really needs a bunker to try and stop the flow of lings making their way in. Oh, he almost got that. Almost got that kill on the Valkyrie. The stack of Scourge under there, not able to connect. Barely not able to connect. He really can't engage this right now. He really can't come over here with the Valkyrie. He wants to for sure to try and push this away, but he needs to hit a little bit more of a critical mass. That's a good control. That was some good control with the Valkyrie. Another good slide with the Valkyrie as well, and he dodges the Scourge. All the mutas are super, super, super low, but still no bunker is crazy. Still no bunker here. Muta's gonna come forward. He connects with the Scourge. Really good control to finish that off. And now the natural is done. Sacked. Nothing he can do. Such a shame that he didn't build a bunker over here just to start rallying those Marines into so that he can have a little bit of an extra defensive position. Still, things are crazy in this game, and you can't really fault him for getting torn apart by Soma, whose control has been absolutely on point in this game, and it's really looking like this may be the end here. Dropping down to 25 supply, and just 5 mutas left over is going to win this game. GG. Sharp taps out, and Soma is going to be victorious. All right, guys, that's the end of this best of 7. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Soma versus Sharp. Soma did a great comeback, though. I think I want to highlight that game where he lost 6 drones in the early game to the 8 racks and still managed to find a way to a victory. Really good identification of a win condition there from Soma, and just going for it, going ham, and actually getting that win was fantastic. Again, we're going to be having Pro League possibly tomorrow morning. Actually, I'm going to commit to that now. We're going to do it. We'll get in there and we'll do a brand new Pro League tomorrow morning on stream. And then the next icow video that I'm going to be doing is Soma versus Mini. So stay tuned for that, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, do all the good stuff. Shout out to the Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.